creativity is the difference between someone that has a lot of skills and actually applies those skills and actually makes something significant versus someone that has those skills, applies them, and I guess has a surface level impact on the world around them. And the reason that I say that is because I was having a chat with a close friend of mine about intention recently. And intention is one of those things that I think society is really, really missing. Okay? It's one of those things that makes a drastic difference in any life. And yet, so few of us know how to become more intentional. It's the very reason that meditation, I believe, is a useful tactic. It's the very reason that listening and making decisions with context makes a big difference in life. And so, how do you get more intention? Well, I believe it requires exploration. And exploration is one of those things that I believe requires creativity. Because once you've explored your neck of the woods, creativity is the difference between saying to yourself that I have explored every inch of this place versus perhaps I should flip over this rock that I've walked by 1,000 times and see what's underneath it. The data that's acquired from flipping over that rock is going to contribute to the amount of variables that you have or the things that you're exposed to. And when we get exposed to more, I believe our potential energy for being intentional increases. So creativity is one of those things that I believe is required in order to become more intentional, because you can only see opportunities if you're looking for them, right? If an opportunity hits you in the face, the vast majority of human beings will not see a bar of gold for what it is. Their appraisal, their ability to understand the value of something is fairly limited. It's the reason why there's not very many wealthy or middle class or rich people, because we have a hard time figuring out what is actually valuable. Mainly because we don't have enough data to put into the value bucket. Many people don't even have that bucket. Value, the bucket of value, doesn't exist in their wisdom. And so when they're looking at things, they're not categorizing them into that bucket. So creativity is one of those things that I believe if you don't execute consistently, you're going to have a very limited perception of the world, and the intention with which we do things, by virtue of that, is going to be reduced, or our ability to be intentional is reduced. It's basically based on how creative we are. The things that I indulge in creatively, the thing that Dan Martell calls the inspiration part of the drip matrix that he came up with, is painting, drumming, and creating magic decks, and then also to some degree creating operations for organizations. Those to me are creative forms. Those are art forms. When I go out of my way to try my hardest to make time for those things, I make time for those things because I realize that it literally affects every other part of my life. The creation of artwork, something that only you can make in the world of AI, feels like it's not worth it. Feels like I could just go on Mid-Journey and come up with results that are way better than my paintings. But the only thing that really matters in these circumstances is the experience of you actually creating something. The experience of going through and having that moment of, I don't really know what I'm doing, but this feels right. I'm crafting something. So important. And it's not important in the sense of other people look at us and they're like, wow, look at, they play music or they make paintings or whatever. Like that's, I always say what other people think of you is like half the equation, okay? The other half is your experience in this world, the experience in this life. We need to have really novel, unique experiences consistently in order to live a satisfying life. And that's the beautiful thing about creativity, is you can sit on the same piece of paper, and just by virtue of wanting that novelty, you can actually get it. You can produce that for yourself instantaneously. Another way to think about it is, if you drive the same route every day to work and you feel like life is unsatisfying, try to take some time to look at different things that you don't look at, like that corner patch of land that you've crossed 50,000 times and you still don't know what's on it. Try to look at that patch of land. Try to pay attention to the people that are around you, what cars show up every morning, or look at the clouds, look at the weather, or the trees and how they're changing, or, if there's roadkill, what type of animal is that? There's an infinite amount of things that we can see, but it's all up to us how much we are willing to see. When it comes to music, I have times where I'll sit there and I'll try to make a song, and I'll be there for like 2 hours, and then time will go by and be like, shit, that was a lot of fun. Because I have that creative muscle, because I'm interested in that. But also because I realize in a meta abstract way that the more that I create, the more interesting my life becomes. Every time I put that loop or something together, or I augment the song, or I do something, the next day, or when I'm thinking about things, my world is a little larger. And that's, I'm a novice creative, I would say. Spent probably a lot of hours on it, but I'm a novice creative. And so I speak from that level of experience. But I think it's important to take that into account when we're building businesses, or when we're building these more like tangible things in life. You can see a real difference in quality of life by virtue of you doing something. I think we forget how important our personal individual experience is in the crafting and the creation of that value. And for those of you that are curious, just go to turabify.art and you'll find paintings that I've made, 5 out of probably hundreds of paintings that I've made over the course of my life. And if you go and look up Turabify on Spotify or any of the streaming platforms, you'll see the 4, I think 3 or 4, I think one of the albums is lost on SoundCloud somewhere. The hard drive that held it crashed, so I don't have it. Probably get it someday. But at least there's 3 albums out there in the public. And I'm gonna make an album every single year because I love music, because it makes my life cool and interesting. I mean, it really comes down to us to make our life cool and interesting. But in order to make life cool and interesting, you gotta be creative. You gotta be like, hey, what do I wanna do? How do I wanna do it? Why do I wanna do it? No one's telling you why. No one's telling you how. No one's telling you what. At some point, you're gonna get out of school. No syllabus for life. So you gotta be creative. It pays to be creative. So what does that mean for you? Well, hopefully that means that you're gonna take on some time to actually make the time, right? To schedule time in your life where you can be creative, and to take it very seriously, like a job, like showing up for your family, like a relationship that matters to you. It's all important. When it comes down to whether or not you believe it's important, whether or not you want to further your perception. I'll tell you, my schedule currently is quite simple. Every Sunday from noon to about 4 p.m. I actually stream my creative sessions too, so if you want to join us, you're more than welcome on Twitch and stuff. And on Turabify Entertainment, which is a lateral channel. It really makes a difference to have a scheduled time to do this stuff, because life gets busy. And the cool thing about scheduled time is a lot like meditation or working out or anything else that you do consistently, hopefully, it becomes in itself an affirmation to do it again and again and again. It's a ritual, and it's a ritual well worth taking part in. And for those of you that aren't religious or spiritual in any capacity, I strongly recommend taking on rituals in your life. It's what makes the novel things actually more interesting. It gives you a sense of, wow, this is really different, because you know what the same is. Hopefully this helps. And your personal experience, guys, is really important. Don't ever forget that. Don't take that away from yourself. That's everything, almost. That's everything that you can control. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Peace.